r/AskReddit, what was the most awkward thing you witnessed at school or in a classroom? He just tried to beat his meat. Our math teacher was in a bad mood and held us back for a few minutes to lecture us. She saw one of our classmates outside the classroom chatting with some other kid. She went ballistic on him only to find out that was his twin waiting for his brother. When I worked at Taco Bell, I saw one of our employees over at Pizza Hut walking in through the back door. I went back into Taco Bell and then learned that my coworker's identical twin brother worked next door. Classmate brought her grade school sister to our high school Spanish class to help with a presentation about family that day. It was the first one of the day and their mom arrives with the little sister. The whole class is seated and facing the room door in the front next to the teacher. Once the kid enters the classroom, our teacher greeted her and the mom. The kid blurts out, "Wow, Sandy, her older sister, my classmate, you were right, this breath stanks." Our Spanish teacher was known to have crippling coffee breath. Must have been embarrassing for her. A friend walked up to the front of the room to ask our teacher if he could go to the restroom and was denied. So he stood right there and pissed his pants in front of her. He got sent home. Chad move. In first grade, the principal came to our classroom to paddle a kid in front of the whole class. Went to school in Louisiana in the 2000s and they also did this. What the actual fuck? Was this in like, the 1940s? A girl loudly called out a boy who had his hand in his pants in class. Dude was nearly frozen in fear. We had an active shooter lockdown in high school once, not really, the girl just was posting depressing things on Tumblr or something. Our math teacher runs to the door, tries to lock it, and breaks the key in the lock. She then decides to run to our corner yelling, "This is too much stress for a pregnant woman." And that's how she told us she was pregnant. She was right in fairness. And GT, active shooter lockdown. Born in '85. The fact that kids today have to practice active shooter drills and everyone just accepts it blows my mind. Back when I was in 4th grade, throughout the grade students were making a list of swear words, they even had kids who spoke other languages writing words in other languages. Principal found out, had assemblies and displayed the list in front of the whole school, even the kindergartners. She got fired. Kindergarten the day after assembly. "Hey Mrs. Cuntface, Billy took my goddamn crayons, tell that fucking prick to give them back before I hoop his bitch ass." What did she think would come out of that? Also happy cake day. A teacher was out for a few days. Upon returning, one kid questioned, "What, did your grandma die?" She indeed did die. The teacher just broke down. Reminds me when I had a coworker in college who hadn't been at work in like a week. I jokingly said something along the lines of, "Look who decided to show up." Everyone chuckled. She turned around quick and said, "Yeah, because my daddy died and I had to go get his death certificate so we don't lose our house." Mad as hell. And that's how I learned to mind my own business. One time a girl got mad and went to storm out of the classroom. She was making a big scene, doing everything angrily and loud. She goes to open the door to step out, but her hand slipped off the knob, and just ran into the door. I'll bet he felt nuts. My mate was late for an assembly and trying to sneak in quietly when the whole fire door fell off its hinges in his hand. 10th grade. Student teacher, from the local college, wore a Nazi flag like a cape and stood on the desk. I don't remember why. He was just recreating Pink Floyd's live performance of The Wall. A guy in history class, 8th grade, was caught masturbating in the dark when the professor was showing us a movie of the dead naked bodies in German concentration camps. WTF. Oh no. Reminds me of that story of the guy who when he was young walked in on his parents watching a movie where there were naked people but was quickly ushered out and would masturbate to that memory for years, only learning years later it was a Holocaust documentary. That's so fucking grim. In 8th grade, one day during study time a girl had full-on diarrhea in her seat. She didn't say a word and was somehow quiet enough that the teacher didn't notice until another student called her over. We got to skip the rest of the class. There was a girl in my math class that would fall asleep with her feet up on the seat in front of her, usually wearing short skirts. One day she farted so loud it woke her up. The entire class died laughing. Our teacher was facing the blackboard and I could see his shoulders shaking. I was doing a presentation in 6th or 7th grade about my family and kind of stumbled to remember my brother's age. This loud girl in the class started to make fun of me, while I was still up there presenting, asking me how I couldn't remember my own brother's age. I just said he's dead so I have to do the math. Everyone went completely silent and I still remember her face. Every adjuster/scratcher's worst fear. I can just imagine the "oh my god" look on her face. The girl kept putting her hand up to go to the bathroom, and the teacher refused. So after maybe the 5th time she just yanked something out of her skirt and slapped it on the window. Her heavily soiled sanitary pad. Fair enough. My dad drove his scooter into the front gate and took the gate off the hinges. My dad did SMTH similar with the scooter too. I don't know why they are like this. Our 3rd grade class president stood in front of the class to go over some administrative things. Then this conversation happened. Student, looking really nervous, I need to go to the bathroom. Teacher, for goodness sakes, you can go. Student, I already did. All the kids lurched forward to look and there was a puddle on the carpet. Also, I have no idea why we had a class president in 3rd grade. What kind of administrative things was a 3rd grader talking about? My chemistry teacher showed up shit-faced and put faces of death in the VCR, for some unknown reason, and passed out. I bet that scene played out much better in his head. Male teacher paused class to go next door into the girls' bathroom and yell at them for using the hand dryers, which were loud and disruptive. They weren't. He did a lot of weird shit like that. He was arrested a couple years later for possession of CP and fondling his niece. Itchy balls, I'm about to end this whole man's career. Guy in my humanities class was meant to be in an English class. He didn't know he was in a humanities class for a solid 40 minutes. My roommate and I went to our chemistry final and sat there for 10 minutes before realizing we were in the wrong class. That's what we got for never going to class. Happened to me. I was wearing jogging pants and got a random boner for no reason. I was trying to get rid of it when the teacher asked me to stand up. I just said no, not right now, but she pushed the issue. So I got up trying to hide it when she realized and said never mind Kurt. And quickly called on someone else, LOL. There was some leakage problem in the restroom, so the janitor called the local plumber. For no reason whatsoever, our restroom was more than 10 feet and leakage was on the higher side and there was little to no support to climb up. I went to the restroom with my friend and saw blood coming out. Went inside to check and found the plumber's dead body. He fell on something sharp. Police showed up and we all were sent home. 2 guys who were bullying me for being gay got caught jerking each other off under a table in 8th grade. At least they stopped bullying me, LOL. Sounds like they were projecting their hate. Wonkers. They are just jealous. A girl got up from her desk after being called to the front of the class to write and answer the dry erase board, and there was a pool of blood on her chair from her period. Bless her, sad face, she was probably embarrassed to tears. We had a teacher who had a miscarriage and was explaining that she was going to be gone for a couple weeks for mental health reasons when this one kid just said, well, it isn't all bad, at least you'll be skinny again. You could have heard a fucking pin drop. I tried to fart silently but it doesn't go as it planned. Did it happen to be in one of those chairs that made everything loud? I swear those things were the devil to anybody who tried to sneak one out. Kid got fully pantsed in the lunchroom after his girlfriend had just been sitting in his lap. So he was at attention or just finished. 6th grade, guy had to do a math problem on the chalkboard. He had a boner, so he used his boner and the lip of the bottom of the chalkboard to balance his math book open to see the math problem. Think harder, not smarter. Solving 2 problems at once. Are we talking about a kindergartner or a 12th grader? 8th grade, kid next to me got an erection that was poking straight up underneath his gym shorts. He proceeded to just start smacking it as hard as he could with the palm of his hand. He said, "Get back down there."
Hey guys, it's Reddit Glitch. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. I just wanted to ask you guys to hit the subscribe button because according to my statistics, 98.8% of my viewers are not subscribed, which I think you should subscribe because it's free and we're going to have a lot more bangers in the future, so subscribe. Again, thanks for watching. Bye.